Miss Kramer, you may call your first witness.
The state calls Felicia Gallant.
That's your cue.
Okay, sure you want to do this?
Positive.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You see it?
Thank you. Miss Gallant, are you a member of this community?
Yes, I am. I own a restaurant here in Bay City. I have done some work for a local television station, and I have written several books.
What is your relationship to Lorna Devon?
I'm her mother.
Miss Gallant, where were you on the evening of October 22nd?
I went out with a friend, and later we came back to my apartment.
Did you see your daughter Lorna that evening?
Yes, I did. She came to the apartment as well.
What time was that?
Sometime after 11.
Miss Gallant, can you describe your daughter's demeanor and appearance on that night?
She was pale, very shaky. She wasn't anything like herself. I even thought she might be ill. Or
Objection. Miss Gallant is not a doctor.
I'm not asking Miss Gallant for a diagnosis, simply for an observation.
I'll allow it. Continue, Miss Gallant.
Thank you. As I was saying, she was shaky. I had to help her to sit down. I went into the kitchen to get her something to drink, and when I came back, she was curled up on the couch, just trembling.
Now, Miss Gallant, I realize that you are not a doctor, but as a parent, can you tell us if you suspected that your daughter had been drinking?
Yes. I knew that she had gone out with friends earlier. They were partying. But that wasn't the problem.
Again, Your Honor, the witness is drawing conclusions she's unqualified to make.
I think we understand the parameters of Miss Gallant's testimony, Mr. Winthrop. You may continue, Miss Gallant.
Thank you. She wasn't anything like herself. My daughter is a very verbal person. She's articulate. She's funny. She stood there that night. She stood there and stared. She didn't say a word. She just was trembling.
And Miss Gallant, you've mentioned that she needed your assistance to walk.
Yes.
That you observed her curled up on the couch. Now, is that normal behavior for your daughter?
No. No, of course not. My daughter has great physical presence. She's tall and athletic and graceful. She moves like a dancer. She has great confidence and poise. And
on the evening of October 22nd?
She winced every time she moved. She wouldn't look at me. She hid her face, and she's never hidden from anyone, ever.
Miss Gallant, can you describe the condition of your daughter's clothing that night?
Objection. Irrelevant.
It goes to state of mind, Your Honor.
Overruled?
You may answer the question, Miss Gallant.
She has great fashion presence. She's always dressed beautifully, well-groomed. Immaculate. That night she was disheveled. Her hair was uncombed. Later, I saw all the bruises on both her arms.
Miss Gallant, you are her mother. How did you feel observing all these changes in your daughter?
I was frightened, horrified. I had no idea what I should do.
What did you do?
I asked her what had happened to her. And that's when she told me she'd been raped.
Objection. Hearsay.
And later we found out that that man, that rapist, was Morgan Winthrop.
Objection, Your Honor!
Order! I will have order in this court. Order!
Your Honor,
Order!
the witness is
I will
non-responsive,
have order,
volunteering
and
information
that
that is
includes
highly
you, Mr.
prejudicial.
Winthrop. Thank you. Now, you have an objection, Mr. Winthrop?
Yes, Your Honor. Witness answer was hearsay and highly non-responsive.
Miss Gallant's testimony reflects the statement she gave to the police.
Nevertheless, Mr. Winthrop is correct and his objection is sustained. The jury will disregard Miss Gallant's reference to what her daughter said. Her daughter and the officers at the scene will have an opportunity to testify at a later time.
Miss Gallant, has your daughter ever lied to you?
Objection, irrelevant.
Miss Gallant is here as a character witness for the plaintiff.
I'll allow it.
Has your daughter ever lied to you?
No, never. She's a completely truthful person, sometimes too truthful.
Has she ever engaged in flights of fancy or fantasized and made up stories.
Objection. Calling for conclusions.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
No. I find her to be a completely grounded person.
Thank you, Miss Gallant. Your witness, counsel.
She's done a lot of damage. I'm going to have to go after her. I don't want you or the baby here for this.
Cass.
Please, Frankie.
I understand. Look.
Is there a problem?
No problem, Your Honor. Ms. Gallant, did your daughter drink excessively the night of her alleged rape?
I don't see how that's relevant, Your
The
Honor.
witness will answer the question.
I don't know. Maybe.
Would you say she had more than one cocktail that night?
Perhaps.
How many? 3, maybe 4?
I couldn't say.
Would it surprise you to know that according to the bartender, Ms. Devon consumed 2 margaritas and 3 martinis that night at Sassy's prior to her alleged attack?
I don't
Objection,
care.
Your
She
Honor.
had 15 drinks. What difference could that
The
make?
counsel knows he cannot introduce testimony not in evidence.
Your Honor, I submit that Ms. Devon was in no condition to attest to the events of that evening because she was too
You
drunk.
weren't there, Cass. You have no idea what state my
Miss
daughter
Gallant,
was in.
Isn't it true that the plaintiff waited until the next morning before filing a police report?
Objection!
There
Overruled.
were reasons why
The
she
witness is
waited.
requested to give a yes or no answer.
I'm only trying to
The truth is,
explain.
Ms. Devon didn't report the alleged incident until 10 hours later because she didn't think she had a case, did she?
I know that she was trying to process
Even your own
everything that
daughter,
happened to her.
the alleged
She was
victim,
very shaken.
realized that whatever happened to her that night might not have been rape.
I will have order in this court. Order! I will have order in this court.
For the record, the prosecution strenuously objects to the defense counsel's line of questioning.
Trying to uncover the truth, Your
You're
Honor.
trying to justify a crime your own brother committed.
The jury will ignore the witness's unsolicited remarks. Miss Gallant, in my courtroom, you speak only when you're spoken to. Is that understood?
I'm sorry.
Counsel will approach the bench. Mr. Winthrop, where is this line of questioning going?
Your Honor, Ms. Gallant is an expert witness. Her area of expertise is in describing human behavior.
The state did not call her as an expert. We called Miss Gallant as the victim's mother.
She is also a prize-winning novelist with a proven eye for detail. Surely she can attest to the complainant's mental state and level of intoxication.
The testimony is irrelevant. Whether the victim was drunk or not doesn't change the fact that she was raped.
Your Honor, the testimony goes to complainant's character. The prosecution used this witness to establish that Ms. Devon was a trustworthy woman, incapable of telling a lie. However, defense will show that Lorna Devon was in no condition whatsoever to judge the veracity of any of the details she described that night. She was so inebriated.
Counsel may continue this line of questioning.
I request that my objection remain on the record.
So ruled. You may proceed, Counselor.
Thank you. Ms. Gallant, was Lorna Devon drunk the night of her alleged rape? I would ask the witness to reply for the record, verbally.
Yes, she was drunk.
And did she wait until the next morning before reporting the alleged incident?
This was not an alleged incident. She was
Answer
raped.
yes or no.
Yes, she was. But I took
No
her to a
further
hospital.
questions.